Now, of these three periods, the one we know the least about is the oldest one, the monarchy. There's a lot of legend. As I've said, Romulus was supposedly raised by wolves, and was supposed to be the first, in fact, of these kings. The problem is that when we talk about the Roman monarchy, we're forced to rely really on two things. We're forced to rely on legends, and we're forced to rely on archaeological evidence. We can learn about the types of artifacts that they left, and maybe some of the religious practices, but it's hard to know specific dates or to corroborate the existence of their policies. Because not very long after the fall of the monarchy, the Roman archives were destroyed. There were invaders who came in from Gaul and burned them. So even though there were presumably documented records at some point, those records have not survived. So we're not able to go back and check historical documents to verify their accuracy, verify the accuracy of our current accounts. But based on the legend, there are 7 kings, the last 3 of whom were actually Etruscans. So this isn't a case of Romans coming in and wiping out the Etruscans, and in fact, this was very much cultural mingling that was going on. The last of these Etruscan kings was called Tarquinius Superbus, and he's universally hated. He's seen as greedy, he's seen as not upholding Roman values, and eventually he puts the end to the Roman monarchy after he viciously assaulted a Roman woman named Lucretia. Lucretia felt so dishonored by this that she killed herself, and this resulted in an outcry from the Roman people. Now, Tarquinius Superbus is then overthrown, and the Romans are like, okay, we're done with kings. No more kings now. So instead of having a single figure as a monarch, the Senate, which was already established as a governing body during the monarchy, takes over. And this is the beginning of what we know as the Roman Republic. Now, the senators were taken from a class called patricians, which was basically a Roman word for noblemen. So these were landowners, wealthy landowners, who were able to contribute to the rulership of the Roman Republic. Of course, this wasn't a republic in the sense of how we understand it today, in which everyone can vote and everyone, at least theoretically, can become a leader. This is very much a ruling class, an oligarchy. The patricians are the ones who are eligible for the Senate, at least initially. The list of people who are eligible did broaden over time, and we'll get to that later. Now, women, of course, are at no point eligible to hold any type of political power. If women want to wield power, they have to do so indirectly. And there are certainly examples throughout history of women doing that through their husbands and their sons.